So I'm starting off with this shade here, and we're going to use this as our transition color. So we're just going to blend that into the crease with a nice fluffy brush. And now we're going to take Barista and we're going to slightly build some depth. So we're going to use the same, or just kidding, a different fluffy brush, and place that right into the crease as well. This one's a little more tapered, so it's going to allow for the color to blend seamless into the transition color. And then with Deep Roast, I'm only going to add a little bit of that right into the crease. And I just want this color to be really, really soft because I don't want the crease to be too dark. I don't have any added product on the brush. I'm just buffing out the Deep Roast shade, so that way it's nice and seamless. So I mixed the green and the yellow from my Ben Nye color wheel to create a brighter green. I wish I had some white to mix in it to create more of a pastel green, because the shadow that we're going to place on top is going to be more of a pastel green. But it kind of changed the color a little bit because the base was a little bit too vibrant. But you know, it's fine. And so we're just going to carve out our crease with the cream base first. My breath is vile, full of harm and rejection. One last sigh, I'm weak. Do I have to slip my fucking wrist together? And now with Mellow Yellow, we're just going to go on ahead and pack that right on top of the cream base. Try to keep it on the base only. It's okay if it does get like outside of the lines, because we're going to clean it up later, but it'll just make it a little bit easier for you. And now we're going to take Deep Roast again, and we're going to use a thin liner brush for this, and we're going to go right over the edge of the crease that we kind of carved out and clean it up, so that way it's nice and sharp. But I'm not going for like a super dark defined crease. Like I was saying, I don't want it to be super dark. I just want it to be more subtle and softer, and like what I like to call a peekaboo cut crease, where it's like, oh, it's a cut crease, but it's not like, oh my god, girl, you got a cut crease, you know what I mean? And then you just want to buff out any harsh lines. And that is it for the eyes. And I'm taking my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation. So I did recently just receive these foundations, so I've been trying them out for a minute. Like I said, I'm not going to do like my whole foundation routines in every single video, but I wanted you guys to see the new product that I have been using, and I do really like it. And so I'm using the Deep Sand in the inner portion of my face. It's more of a yellow tone, and the Deep Honey towards the outer portion. It has more of a red undertone. And then I'm just going to blend that in with my Real Technique sponge. There's courage in this bottle, now it's empty, so I better get a refill. Do you need something from the bar as well? A straight line feels like downhill. But yeah, I do really like this foundation. When I first wore it the very first time, I didn't really like it, but by the end of the day on my skin, it looked so gorgeous. And if you have really sensitive skin, this is really great too, because Tarte is a natural brand. I have really sensitive skin, and my skin has been so much kind of like clearer since wearing it. In my last video, I was explaining how my skin broke out a little bit. I'm going to take the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealers. I'm going to use Tan Deep first, and I'm going to use that right on the under eye and brighten up that area. And I'm using Tan Deep first because it's more of a neutral undertone concealer, so it's going to cancel out any blue and purple tones on the under eye. And then in a moment here, I'm going to place the tan shade right on top. It's brighter and it's more of a yellow undertone, and it's just going to give me more of that awake highlighted look. I'm also going to use that shade to highlight my entire face. Let me tell you guys, I had to struggle with this concealer though. So I've used the Maracuja Creaseless in the past and I do love the concealer. But for some reason, when I did this video, I kept putting it over top of my liner and I was like, what is my problem? Why do I keep doing this? So I had to redo my liner like 5 million times. But it was fine. It worked out. Now I'm going to take the Tarte Skin Twinkle Lighting Palette. This is so bomb, you guys. So you have more of a champagne highlight, a golden highlight, and a pinky highlight. And so I'm taking the Sunlight, which is kind of like the champagne shade, and then the Filtered Light, which is the golden shade. And I'm using those two to highlight today. It's really pretty. If you want like glow and highlight, but you don't want it to be super like bow bam in your face like Becca, try this palette out because it's much softer, but you still get a nice glow. I'm gonna take my brown liner, Simmer Brown Now by Wet n Wild. I'm gonna use that to line my lips, and I did kind of slightly overline my lips a little bit just to make them look a little fuller. I swear, you guys, I'm like, I'm not gonna overline my lips, and then I always do it, and it's just by accident. Because I usually like make a mistake, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just make my lips bigger. And now I'm taking Lolita 2, and so this is like a warm tone nude shade. It's more of like that peachy, corally type of nude. I'm going over top of the lip liner because I don't want it to be like brown. I want it to kind of be softer. So I'm going over top of it and blending it in really well. So that way the brown is really soft. And then in a moment here, I'm going to apply my gloss. So these are the Tartiest glossy lip paints. So it's like a gloss form of a liquid lipstick. So not matte, but super pigmented. These are so pigmented and moisturizing. And they like smooth out any texture on the lips. They're bomb.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay beautiful. Bye.